Happy Friday, everybody. You guys have been at this e-learning or distance learning for a while, and I thought today was a good day for a change of pace. You guys have been looking at slides and reading things and everything else, so I thought I'd give you something a little bit different today. And to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of bored, and I really miss talking about this stuff with you guys. So let's talk about the Mexican-American War, one of the most important wars in American history that nobody ever talks about. Of course, we've got to start with a super fancy history word, and the word is annex. It's when a country or territory decides to add extra land and make it part of their own. Countries have been doing this for centuries. Explorers just go around the world just claiming new territory, saying that this is now England, this is now France, this is now Italy. Or you can do it through conquest, through war. They've been doing that for a long time too. Or sometimes you just buy it. We annexed the Louisiana Purchase. I bring it up because our story begins today with the United States trying to annex Texas. If you remember from earlier in the week, Texas had gotten its independence from Mexico through war. Now they kind of want to become part of the United States, and James K. Polk, our president, is more than happy to have it. So he's trying to annex Texas into the United States and make it one of ours. However, Mexico warned Polk and warned the United States not to annex Texas because Mexico is still a little salty and they want Texas back. Polk even tried to sweeten the deal with Mexico by offering to buy California along with annexed Texas. I'm not entirely sure what his thinking is with that, but at least he's trying something different besides just going straight to warfare. This map is what things actually looked like back then. Texas doesn't look anything like Texas does today. In fact, it's much, much smaller. Most of what we call Texas today was disputed territory between Mexico and the United States. Nobody was entirely sure where Mexico started, the United States started, where the borders even were. But that didn't stop President Polk from sending future President Zachary Taylor down to the American border with a group of troops with very simple instructions. Just guard the border of Mexico. Do not attack Mexico.
Oh, not this again.
We've seen this story play out several times throughout this class. So if you're thinking that Zachary Taylor disobeyed President Polk and invaded Mexico just because he felt like it, this time you'd actually be
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
That's right, Zachary Taylor actually listened to President Polk and was just standing guard at the border. The only problem was, nobody really knew where the border was. Taylor claims that he was clearly on the American side of the border, while Mexico claimed that we were on Mexican soil. And so because of that, Mexico attacked the American troops. A decision now had to be made between President Polk and Congress about whether to go to full-scale war with Mexico or not. There was a fierce debate in Congress over this issue, and it's where we get to meet a young Illinoisan for the first time by the name of Abraham Lincoln. He was serving in Congress and demanded that President Polk show him on a map the exact spot where the American troops were attacked by the Mexican soldiers. It's because of this he gets a not-so-flattering nickname at the time of Spotty Lincoln. While Abraham Lincoln certainly did not want to go to war with Mexico, James K. Polk did. Polk saw this as an opportunity to get more land for the United States. He was a firm believer in that manifest destiny, that belief that God wanted the United States to have all the land from ocean to ocean. And this was just an opportunity for the United States to get just that. So, we declared war on Mexico. The Mexicans are led by Antonio de Santa Anna, the same one who led the Mexican troops against the Texans in their war for independence. And the Mexican army has a lot more soldiers than we do. However, because of our factories and everything else, we have a huge technological advantage. We are led by future President Zachary Taylor, and he's going to go ahead and invade Mexico. Just like the other wars that we've talked about in this class, I'm not going to get bogged down talking about battle after battle in this war, but there is one specific battle I want to talk about because that has a strange bearing on our future as we continue to move forward in this class, and the battle is Veracruz. General Winfield Scott is in charge of the U.S. Army at this battle, and after this war, he takes over all the military and is going to be in charge of the entire U.S. Army right up to the American Civil War. Now, during this battle, the Americans take the city along with a lot of Mexican prisoners. So that part's certainly important. But the other kind of strange important part about this is that at this battle, Winfield Scott has fighting under him Robert E. Lee and Ulysses S. Grant. They're fighting together in this war for the American Army. In the future, Robert E. Lee is going to be the head of the Southern Army during the American Civil War, and Ulysses S. Grant is going to be in charge of the Northern Army. But yet in this war, they're fighting together. Battles like Veracruz sent the United States down a winning path. And indeed, the United States does win this war. It officially ends with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Ended the war in 1848. So it began in 1846 and ended in 1848. And in this treaty, we get what's called the Mexican Cession. And if you look at all these things, we get essentially a quarter of the United States because we won this war, and yet nobody ever talks about it. This is what the United States looks like following this war. It's essentially the United States. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and thank you guys for all of your hard work and keeping up with your work during this very, very strange time. I know things are very uncertain and nobody's really sure what to think about things, but I want to let you guys know that I appreciate all the hard work that you do, and I miss spending time with you guys in the classroom and talking about all these crazy things that we talk about throughout history class. If you guys have any questions about things, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Classroom. Send me an email. Let me know how things are going. Enjoy your guys' weekend.